Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Domas. I wanted to thank you all guys got I've got a lot of encouragement after my last video where one person commented that, not like I should let go of shame, but gave a lot of encouraging words, and I wanted to say thank you, first of all. Second of all, it's interesting because you feel like you know what's wrong with you, you feel like you know what you should be doing different, but nonetheless, you still have these flashbacks. When I say you, I mean I don't know about you, but I guess we all share some common, traits. So, I made a video about schizotypal personality disorder, and I named all the symptoms of it, which I was diagnosed about 2-3 years ago. And when I went to the hospital, the doctor said that we don't think it's schizotypal. We think it's increased anxiety and mild depression, which is kind of like a form of schizotypal personality disorder, because in schizotypal you have anxiety with other people, like you have social anxiety, and from that obviously comes the depression. So I don't just feel like, well, and all of those crazy, not crazy, but all of those, you know airy fairy hippie-ish thoughts, let's call it, they are part of schizotypal personality disorder. However, what came first, the thoughts or the diagnosis? Like, to me, it was the thoughts. In the world that we're living in, I feel like we put labels on everything. So there's a label on this type of person, and and it's cool because there's other people like that, and things like that, like being too much in your own head and your own world, they do get in the way of living a normal life. That's why I feel like it's a disorder. So it's not to say that oh, I am, poor me, or like, it's got in the way before. It got in the way before, and it's getting in the way now, but somehow, and I'm really pretty much 100% sure, because of these videos, because of me talking to you guys honestly about how I'm feeling and what I'm going through. Excuse me. I feel like I've been getting better. I've been getting more insight into what I need to do. Maybe it's just me growing up, 33 years old. But I never feel like I've grown to a point where I could call myself an adult, like I have these little things where it's like, okay, you want to be an adult, so how about a job that you keep, because I've changed jobs. Like, I had a job for like a couple months, and I quit for some reason, and then I get another job, then I quit for another reason, and now I got a new job, and I already had many thoughts about quitting. And my boss, let's call it my manager, said, yesterday after I did the tour, she said, don't you feel like you came to some crazy place, like in this, at this job? And I was like, actually, I do feel like that. And I started to explain her why and everything, and she was like, well, I'm not very happy for what you said. And I was like, you asked. You asked, and I'm actually glad that she's asked, because I was able to tell her how I feel. And if I wasn't able to, that would be one more reason to quit that job. And now I feel like even this morning I woke up and I was thinking, you know what, like it's actually quite fun. Like I go and like let people into these rooms and I chat with them, and then I do the tours, and I, like lead people through a tour, and it's online, so I don't need to see them face to face, but it's that's a job, and by keeping it I'm becoming more adult, more of an adult. So to me, that's how I don't know, put a tick on that list. And I think that's where that diagnosis comes out, where I get into my head about like a certain idea that, oh well, I don't need this job, like this is not for me, this is doesn't go along with what is right for me, and yeah, I probably shouldn't stay here because this and this and that reason. And I guess that's quite as well of that puer eternus thing, where you stay an infinite child, and I think Carl Jung was saying about this as well, for people that are, I think he was talking about puer eternus, the infinite child, but he was saying, for these people, you just need to get a job basically, and not like get a job, but like get a job and keep it. Like no matter what your brain tells you, you got to keep it and stick to it, because you need to be grounded in the world somehow, in some way. You need to be able to ground yourself. And seriously, like every single day I'm going to work, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm working and I'm in my hometown. I'm ticking off these boxes, and one more day passes by and I'm like, okay, I dealt with today. That's good. Like I'm doing good. But then the next day comes and then it's like a dip in the mood again or something. But it's just how it's supposed to be. Even yesterday, I was like, I can't do this. This is too much. Two tours at the same time. I can't do it for like, excuse me, for like 10, 15 seconds. I was like, no, this is sweat just started pouring. Like I was like, no, this is bullshit. This is nonsense. And then I got into it and I was like, this is not that bad actually. It was like, it wasn't that bad. But for me, like what the brain tells you, what the mind tells you, and the mind tricks are the craziest part. Like for me, when I because I do morning journaling, like when I journal, I see what I want to. I'm starting to catch myself thinking negatively and wanting to write negatively, and then I start writing something positive, or I start writing slower, or I start writing like just a bit more from within my like belly, heart, like this part, rather than from here. I start to notice that like I have positive thoughts. I'm starting to get positive thoughts. I'm like, really, it feels like a phoenix being born out of, you know, ashes. Like it really feels like I'm dying, or I've died and I'm dead, and but every little movement that I make adds more life, and I'm living again. And it's like, wow. Like, and I'm sharing all of this because I didn't believe that this was possible, and I still don't believe that it's possible. But every single day, every minute of an hour, I'm proving more and more that things are getting better. And especially if they're getting worse, they're getting better at the same time, or they will get better. So this is an interesting message, because that's what I wanted to share with you guys, that if you feel like down, if you feel that shit has hit the fan, if you feel like things can't get any worse, I don't want to say that they can get worse, but they can. But plus, they will get better. They will get better, and sometimes you need to like even be in that like uncomfortableness, like that, like really need to be in that fear and in that, you know, worst case scenarios, and you know, just need to like really go through it and accept that it's what it is. It's what life is, and you have nothing to lose. Like really, you have nothing to lose. Like it's crazy how when you're placed in this world, like, you know, you're born and you're placed in these different parts, you know, of the world, and for some reason I'm here, and for some other reason you're over there, and we're, you know, if we move somewhere else, we become somebody else. But are we? Why did we move? What did we run away from? Like, and you know, all of these thoughts are coming in my head now, because it's like, where is the best place for you to be? Is it your home? Is it another country? Is it, you know, where is it? What's the thing inside you that's making you go, I'm gonna live in Argentina, or I'm gonna live, like, you know, did you do something wrong? Or these thoughts are coming to my head because I lived away from home for a long time, and now I'm living back at home. I'm earning way less money, I'm spending way less money, and it feels like I'm saving myself a little bit, you know, making some food for myself, like not in a constant rush, not in a constant panic. My chest is feeling okay, you know, like it doesn't feel like my heart is gonna come out of my through my mouth at any point, you know, like it feels okay. Maybe it's the medication, who knows, but I got help, you know, because when you're in a tough situation and you can't ask for help, or you don't know, you don't know how to ask for help, or you don't know who to ask for help, or maybe there's no help around, you know, what do? You go back home, you go to your safe place. And I did that, and now I'm like, okay, so I'm sharing all of this because maybe you are in that position now where you're away from home. Maybe you need to go back home. Maybe the opposite. Maybe you've already been there and you've done that and you're now in a safe place. Or maybe you need to move away and experience all of that to realize that, you know, what home is. And or maybe none of those. Maybe you just wanted to see me talk about myself or whatever. But either way, I'm grateful to you guys, and I'm thankful that you're here. And I want to let you know that I'm proud of you, that you are on the good path, that you're cherishing life. I know that you are, and even if you don't believe me, I know that you are. So keep doing you, keep being you, and I will see you in the next video. Lots of love, peace, take care of yourselves and your surroundings. Bye-bye.